Problem number 1. Is there anything wrong with this chessboard? I'll give you 10 seconds to think starting now. Time is up. The correct answer is yes. There is something majorly wrong with this chessboard. The dark squares are in the bottom right and top left. In a normal chessboard, the dark squares are on the bottom left and top right, and this does make a difference because the queens always get their own color. And you can tell that, like in a magazine picture or a movie, if they don't actually have a chess player on hand, because sometimes it is set up like this, where the king and queen are like not opposite each other. Like if you look at the top, it's got the black king opposite the white queen, and vice versa for the white king and black queen. That is wrong. That is 100% wrong. And also, this is wrong as well because the queen gets their own color. The white queen should be on the light square, and the black queen should be on the black square. Moving on to problem number 2. Question number 2. Is white able to castle from this current position? May they castle kingside, or may they castle queenside? Neither or both. Give you 10 seconds. Time is up. The answer is they may castle kingside, and they may castle queenside. The rule states as long as the path that the king is moving is not obstructed, you may castle. It has nothing to do with the rook. And since the 3 squares in between the yellow are not in jeopardy of the queen, you can castle kingside, and you may castle queenside because the 3 squares in between the yellow are not obstructed by the queen as well. So the answer is both. You may castle kingside or queenside from this position. Next question. Problem number 3. Is this checkmate? I will give you 20 seconds to think it over. The answer is no. This is not checkmate. Although white has no available squares to move to, and it appears that they don't have a piece that can take on the black pawn, there is a special move called en passant in chess. And more or less, if a pawn tries marching past the square that the pawn would normally be able to attack, only on the next turn are you able to capture it as if it only moved up 1. The reason is, back in the day, pawns could only move up 1. And to speed up the beginning of the game, they allowed the pieces to jump 2 off the bat. But you can still kill it and capture as if it only had moved up 1 on the very next turn. So no, this is not checkmate. You can en passant the black pawn. Swear to God, not making that up. Question number 4. These are 10 names of chess openings, but only one of them is not an actual chess opening name. Give you 15 seconds to think it over. Time is up. The Bon Cloud attack, that's legit. The Coca-Cola Gambit, that is legit. The Hillbilly attack, that is legit. The Flick Knife attack, that is legit. Starting from the bottom, the Hip Hopopotamus. Hip Hopopotamus is legit. The Hyper Accelerated Pterodactyl is legit. The Halloween Gambit is legit. The toilet variation is legit. So it's down to Pineapple Express and the Monkey's Bum. Drum roll, please. The Monkey's Bum is legit. Pineapple Express is a made-up, fictional chess opening. Catch you on the next. Problem number 5. Is it possible for a knight to start at any square and start jumping around the board, hit every single square, and not jump on the same square twice? I'll give you 20 seconds to think it over. All right. The answer is yes. And not only is the answer yes, there's over 26.5 trillion different ways to do it. And here's one of them. So, isn't that interesting? It's called the Night Tour. Came about in the 800s, like the year the 800s, and it was hypothesized that it was possible, and it wasn't until hundreds of years later, I think it was proved that it was possible. And with the age of supercomputers, there's officially 26 trillion, 500 and something billion different ways for it to do it. And I will mention that one of the cool patterns that arises out of it is that's a very nice pattern. The Turk, which was it was a con. It was basically a little midget, a little chess machine that played it off like it was a computer way back in the day that would beat anyone. It was a master just hidden in underneath the table. This was one of the patterns that he used to do it. Problem number 6. True or false? All of these statements are either true or some, if not all, are false. You tell me. The term rookies in sports named after rooks in chess because they are generally the last pieces to be moved into action, and the same goes for rookies. Fact number 2. If every atom in the observable universe was a supercomputer crunching out 1 million different game combinations every millisecond, and they have been running since the beginning of the universe, it still would not come close to the theoretical number of possible chess games. Fact number 3. The second book to be printed in English was called The Game of Chess. And there are more than 500 million people that know how to play chess worldwide. Are all those true, or are some, if not all of them, false? Give you 10 seconds to think that over. That is absolutely 100% true. All four of those. Even the amount of possible chess games. It's astronomical. True or false? If it is black's turn to play, with perfect play, white will win this board position. But if it is white's turn to move first, then black can hold it to a draw. True or false? Give you 15 seconds to think it over. That statement is actually true. Because if you want to break down real fast, the reason is because if black moves first, they have to go left or right or back up, and then white can flank. And if it's white's turn first, black can just follow and keep the opposition. And the only other move that white can do is push the pawn to break that. And it is known that your king has to be in front of the pawn to promote. Fact. True or false, with the proper move order, it's possible to get one of the white pawns past the black pawns without even getting the kings involved. I'll give you 15 seconds to think it over. The answer is it is 100% possible, and this is how you do it. You first push the middle pawn up, and it's symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which pawn captures that, the left or right. It's the same thing, mirror image. So, because if you didn't capture that middle pawn, let's say you pushed one, it would march on, right? Oh, let's back up there. So you march that, and if they capture you, which they have to, because, I mean, if they don't, their only other option is move the king or push one of the pawns, and either way, you're going to capture and march on. So the trick is, after they capture, you make the square. You push by making the square. See how that makes a square and this doesn't make a square? You make a square because if they capture you, you march and you win. And if they don't capture you, then you win. You know what I'm saying? If they march up here, you win. If they take here, you win. So more or less, if they don't capture you, you're going to capture them and move on. And if they do capture you, you push past. Problem number 9. What is the least amount of moves needed to end or win a chess game? What is the least amount of moves needed to win a chess game? Give you 10 seconds to think it over. The answer is 2. G-pawn moves up twice. Black can move up once or twice their king pawn. And white can move up their f-pawn, either 1 or 2. And black's second move is queen h4 checkmate. 2 moves. Last problem, number 10. Is there a way to arrange 8 queens on the chessboard so that no queen is attacking any other queen? I will give you 20 seconds to think about this one. The answer is yes. There's actually 96 distinct solutions for this problem, and I will show you one of them. This is one of the solutions. If you look, no queen is attacking any other queen on the chessboard. There's one per row, one per column, and none of them share the same diagonals, going bottom left to top right or top left to bottom right. And that wraps it up. If you got more than 5 questions right, props to you. You're fucking smart. If you got 8, 9, or 10 problems right, you are a fucking genius. And if you got all 10 problems right, you are on your way to becoming a master if you are not one already. Thanks for playing along, and if you guys like it, give it a thumbs up, and I'll know to make more of these in the future. And don't forget to comment below on how many out of 10 you got correct. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks.